Okay, so today is March the 18th, and I know I've got a bunch of kiddos absent, so I am just going to start videoing now. This is the note sheet. We're starting with Box and Whisker plot. Now, all it is back in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, you all did graphs. You did like bar graphs. You did circle graphs. You would see line graphs where they would go up and down or something. Okay, we're doing another style of graph today. It's just got a weird name called a Box and Whisker plot. Box meaning a box, just like a box. You've seen a box before, okay? You're going to see whiskers shooting off each end, just like a cat. A cat has whiskers. So you're going to see this thing shoot off of each end. Now, all it is, there are 5 things that we got to have before we can ever create a Box and Whisker plot. You know how to find these, we just got to find them, okay? The 5 things we're going to need are the median, which we know how to do from last week. We're going to have to find the LQ.
Hope you guys are writing this down. Thanks. Good job.
We're going to have to find the UQ. And then the last 2 are kind of obvious. It's going to be your lowest number in your data, and then your highest number in your data. Obviously, just the lowest number you got and the highest number you got. Okay. Yes?
This is what my dad has to work, or that's what he's trying to do this week.
Nice. I like it. In Box and Whisker, and Miss Ott can correct me if she wants, I don't remember it being around when I was a kid. I don't remember ever learning it. It's something that I literally had to teach myself the first year teaching it here. But now that I've taught it, I have realized that it is more popular in the business world than I ever knew. It is, people are using it, what I call more and more often. Companies will take it, and what we're getting ready to do, they take a bunch of data and they make these graphs out of it, these Box and Whisker plots. They may not walk up to their coworker and go, "Did you read that Box and Whisker plot on that?" But they know what it means. Does that make sense? I've seen this in the business world a lot more.
I remember last year you told the kids that you use that in the business.
Yes, and if I can get on the Domino's app, I will try to show you, but they literally will, when we do this, you're going to see this box and these things shooting off. And basically, it matters where all the numbers are on if it's good reports or bad reports. And it's kind of odd, but like they use it. And you'll see where good numbers are rolling and bad numbers are rolling. And
would you call that in the profit and loss like the P&L report?
Yes.
Because I'm asking my son, he's the general manager
Yes.
at a restaurant in Georgia.
Profit and loss. I know the one that they really use it on is when they make the schedule, when they figure out how many workers they should have, and drivers and insiders and all that. It sits there and tells them, like this graph comes up and it says, you need this many workers between these hours. Well, let's face it, when do people buy the most pizza? Lunch and dinner. Do you think we need a bunch of drivers at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon? No. So it's showing them like, hey, you need a bunch here, you need a bunch here. And we see it now. But like when I was a kid, we never learned this. So it's just like the world changes. We don't think of math changing that much. I'll be the first to say that. But there are some changes in it since we were a kid. Hint, hint. Parents aren't going to know this unless they work in the business world and see this all the time. They might even know what it is, but they may not know exactly what it stands for. Okay, like the LQ-UQ thing. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to make mine on paper because I just like it pretty and neat. You don't have to. I was earlier able to fit it right here. Well, I'm going to do that. Let me take that back. I'm going to do this one right here. Okay. Because I want you to see it on this number line. So I'm going to have to use it anyway. Okay. So first off, Uh-huh.
You go to Domino's and pizza places a lot.
Uh-huh.
Buy stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I go to his house, all I smell is pizza.
Pizza. Yes.
That's what happens.
Pizza
He
boxes.
can't cook for nothing.
Well, that we have a lot of people like that. It's okay.
Like your daughter.
Yeah. We're to the point at our house, we don't like it anymore because we've had it so much. After 20-something years, you start getting tired of it. So, yes.
I think I'm probably going to use because me and my brother are going to start a business.
Oh, nice. Yes, totally.
Okay, close the tip.
Totally.
Excellent.
And we'll talk about some of this with grades in a little bit. I'll show you one with grades. This one has to be happens to be basketball. And it says that this is a line plot, and it shows the number of points scored during 11 games. Make a box and whisker plot from the line plot. But first, we got to know how to do this. I want you to think about it. Each X stands for one game. So how many games scored 58 points? 2. How many scored 60 points? 1. How many scored 59 though?
0.
None. Okay, so when we make our data list, we're going to list them over here. I'm going to write it kind of small. But I got to list all my numbers. Here I go. So, I need 2 58s. Because there's 2 X's. Now a 60. Because there's 1 X. How many 61s? 2. And then 63. Not 62, 63 right there. Because there's nothing on 62. Okay, 67 twice. 68 once, 69 once, and 72. Okay, it's not great, but it works. Okay, now I need to go in and find the 5 things that we just talked about, mainly the median, LQ, and UQ. Here we go. I'm going to go in just like last week, and I'm going to mark them. I got median is 63. I would draw a box around it, just like I said last week. It's just that way we can kind of go back and see where did we get that from. Okay. Now, I need my LQ and my UQ. LQ is going to be at this end, which is 60. And UQ, 68.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah,
68. Now, the only other thing they've asked us to find is the lowest number, which is 58, and the highest number, which is 72. You don't have to mark them. We can just kind of see them. So, okay. Now, this is the weird part. We've now got to take that information and bring it down to this number line. Now, please listen. Here we go. The box itself is going to be formed from the median, the LQ, and the UQ. Watch how I do this. Listen, we haven't done this yet. You might want to watch. Every year I have kids who come up to me the day after and go, but how did you draw the thing? And I'm like, well, here we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little dashy line at my LQ, which was 60. Just kind of watch, a little dashy line. I'm going to put one at 63 for my median, about the same length. And I'm going to put one at the UQ, about the same length. The reason I need them all the same length is I'm just going to connect the tops. So watch, I'm just going to connect them, and I'm going to connect the bottoms. You've now made a box for the box and whisker plot. Okay. Now, my whiskers shooting off on each side, left and right. They're going to go to my highest piece of data, which was 72. So I put a little dot at 72, and I'm going to connect it back to the box. And, yeah, like try to connect it. And then my lowest piece of data, which was 58. So I'm going to go over this way and connect it.
That doesn't look like a cat at all.
I know. And I don't, since they call them whiskers, I just think of like they shoot out. But you've created a box and whisker plot. Now, there is a couple things that, you know, here's the thing. Our job is not only to teach you how to create them, but how to read them. And there's some things that you, like if you were only given this, that picture, that box and whisker, you've got to be able to tell me some stuff. Are you ready? Okay. So, what is the lowest number in your data set? 58. Right there. Wherever that ending dot is your lowest data piece. So what's the highest piece of data in your data set? 72. Wherever that whisker ends, that's your highest piece of data. Okay. Next question. Your LQ. Where's your LQ? 60. Whatever this end of the box is your LQ. Always. This is always going to be your LQ. So where's your UQ? At the other end of the box. This is always your UQ. The other end of the box. And that box might be short and fat. It might be long and skinny. Matters what your data looks like. Okay, last one. Where's your median? 63. It is always the dash that is in the middle of the box, but the problem is it's not always in the middle. It might be way down here. It might be way up here. It matters where the median of your data is. Okay, now the last thing we got to understand is, they can ask us those kind of questions, but the last thing is percentages. And we talked about last week that those LQ and UQ make something called quartiles. And they make 4 quartiles because there's 4 quarters in a dollar. Now, what you think about it. Your 100% of data, all your data, is between here and here. There's where your data is. So there is always 4 chunks to this data. 4 chunks. Here we go. So 25% always of your data is this end whisker. It is always 25% of your data. And that whisker might be skinny, might be like short, or it might be really long. It just matters how many pieces of data are in there. Okay? The other whisker at the other end is honestly, once again, 25% of your data. And you can see one's longer than the other. Okay? Now, the middle chunks. This, from the LQ over to the median, is 25%. And I know it's kind of hokey, my color thing, but if it helps you guys, I'm just trying. And then this part is also 25%. That is your 4 chunks, your 4 quarters that make a dollar. One quarter might be this big and the next one be that big. It matters data and how much is in there. Okay. So, now what they're going to do is they're going to ask you various questions. All different kinds of questions. So look at letter A. What percent of the data is between 60 and 68? So if I cover this up, there's my 60, there's my 68. How much percentage is it?
50.
50%. But y'all are seeing it because I drew it on there. The thing is, like by Friday, we got to know where those percentages are. So I'm doing 2 25s to make 50. Okay. Now, look at this word, half. What's half of 100%? 50%. Okay, so 50% of the data is higher than what number?
63.
Right. 50% is higher than what? Higher than 63.
So pretty much everything is higher than the median.
Than the median, yes. That's the weird thing about this. It's not just drawing it. It's reading it. And we can ask different questions. That's where the homework comes in to be important because there's all different questions. And what we ask on one, we'll ask differently on the next one. Okay.
So I sent a picture to my son, who's, in the restaurant business in Georgia, and he said, I asked him, do you do this? Do you use these reports? And he said, no. They don't do P&L anymore. Now that bonus is performance-based.
Oh, nice.
So that changes the data. And then I sent a picture of this. He said, he does remember doing it, but it wasn't called Box and Whisker plot at that time.
Right.
So there you go.
Right. And it probably did have a different name. It's like everything we've done is just...
And my son is 31, just for you and your parents to know.
Yeah.
This is how things change.
And things do change. I mean, I would say this, like now that we've created a Box and Whisker, a lot of people see it. If you ever open like a business journal or a newspaper or something about businesses, you will see these kind of things. And parents understand. I want you to think about it. Just looking at this thing, where are most of my numbers around? Like somewhere around here, right? And I want you to think about it just by looking at this thing. Since there's no 75 even written here, most parents are going to be like, well, I know this thing has nothing to do with a 75. Like, we may not know what it's called, but we may have kind of looked into one before. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to do number 2. Here we go. The second example. We're going to make a Box and Whisker plot. Up to you. I'm gonna do it without you. On the Box and Whisker plot, I'm gonna do this one right above it because we left enough room. I'm gonna find the median and all that, just right above it. Here we go. So step 1, we're gonna need to make a Box and Whisker. We gotta find the 5 things. I'm gonna lay out my data. These could be test scores, honestly, if you think about it, between 60 and 86. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Here we go. I'm going to put my numbers out. I got a 60. How many 66s? 2. 2 68s.
Will we ever have to draw number lines?
Yes.
My handwriting's so big that they all just jumble together.
Yes.
Me too.
And the test, will we have more room to do it?
Yes, I hope. I'll be honest, when we get to homework, I'm doing it on notebook paper just because it's neater. So 382s, 286s.
That's a lot.
Mine didn't have to do it on computer. That's the hard part, like typing it all in.
74s.
13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. Yes. I was just checking to make sure I had, if there's 14 pieces of data, I got 14 numbers. Does everyone see how I got these numbers? Okay. Good. On how I got the numbers. Okay. So, median. Here we go. I'm just going to go in and find each thing. So my median on this one is 74, but it's kind of in the middle. Which,
Wait, can we draw it down here?
yeah, however you want to do it. I'm
Wait,
just,
can we draw it like right here?
Just don't draw on this number line, because the number line we're going to use in a minute. Kind of. Okay. My LQ is, ooh, I got 68.
Because you have two 74s in the middle. And then you have it divided by 1.
Based on who has
Uh-huh.
16. Like if the L is in the middle.
1, 2, 3. Remember, my median, make sure you've got all the right numbers. You should have 14 numbers.
I have 13.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I have 14.
My median is 74, but it is officially down here. It is between.
Count the
You're
median.
doing all that with your hand.
Oh, I only have one. Well, if you count the median, you still would have gotten 68.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out. How the heck up? See, because I got 68. Never mind.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was including the median.
The upper quartile is 82, and it is the one in the middle of the 82s. Okay, now, I'm now going to transfer those numbers down to this number line. Okay, I look, they want a line at the 68 for the LQ.
I gave myself one.
They want a line at the median of 74. And they want a line at the UQ, which is 82. Listen, I stop right there and connect the box, because if not, it looks like a crazy thing has happened. Go ahead and connect the top and connect the bottom. Yes. Okay, because it's called a box and whisker plot. Box. Okay, now whisker, shoot out to 86. And I'm looking at my data, guys. I'm looking at that number. That's why I'm stopping at 86. And then my bottom number is 60. Now, before we even start this, I need you to think about, once again, those quartiles. You got to know, how much is each thing. So, and this is the part we got to get memorized. On Friday you can't say, did you say this whisker is 25%? This is the part we got to know.
Wait, we can count off. We didn't write the 25.
No. Don't even, I'm just doing this for y'all visually. Like, you don't have to write the 25s. This is just something I'm just doing. Probably being overly silly, but that's okay.
Because on me, asked a question about that.
Yeah. So that would be 25%. And then this last chunk is 25%. Okay. So now I'm looking at my questions. Now they've pulled out a totally different question. Now they're asking me, what's the range?
It's 20. It's 26.
Okay, because it's the biggest
26
minus the smallest. We did this last week.
It's 20.
So it is 26. It's weird. They're going to pull stuff out like that. That's old. Okay, now what percent, when you see the word percent, think about it, is between 68, so there's 68, and 86. There's 86. 75. Listen, look at my percentages. Okay? Because it starts here and goes down. You really don't write those percentages. That's just something I'm doing for you guys, because a lot of the questions are based around the percentages. Okay. On the back, here we go. This is the homework, but I'm going to try to do some of it with you. If you will, get out 8. Well, I'm doing it on a piece of paper, but that's just me. I have to. I can't do it without.
Oh, we have time to we have time for a homework.
We're going to do as much as we can. My last class, we were able to finish it.
On the list, do we have to specify the A or B or write the number line.
We're going to make a number line. Okay. So, on the homework, on the back, it says to make a box and whisker plot from each line plot below. So they're giving us a line plot, and they're asking us to make a box and whisker plot. Here we go. So starting out with number 1 here. I'm going to start by writing out my data, my numbers. They've got a 1, 3 2s, yeah, 2 4s,
1 7, 2 8, and then 1 9.
Okay, so check it. Like, before you do any figuring out medians and stuff, like, make sure I got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I look back at my X's. 6 7 8 9 10. Make sure.
It doesn't, so when you're starting to do the line, it doesn't tell you like what to do. Like on the other ones, it says like, make a box on, or it says like where to start it with these numbers. It just has
Here we go. I'm going to teach you, I promise. It's always created the same way. The LQ, the UQ, the median. But now we got to make a number line. So start out. Let's find the median, just like we did before. Okay, my median is created from 2 4s, which is 4. Okay, my LQ is this 2. And my UQ is the 8. Okay. Now, to make a box and whisker plot, you need a number line. Listen, hint, hint. Try to start your number line 1 or 2 below it and go 1 or 2 above it. So like if it starts at 1, I would at least start it at 0. And I'm just going up, just like the number line on my wall. How far up do I have to go? 2. At least 9. I kind of wish you'd go to 10, just to show me that you know what numbers are, starting and stopping this thing. This is why I like notebook paper, because I can see it. Okay. Now, to make a box and whisker plot, I know I need the 3 middle lines, which are the LQ, median, and UQ. So I'm going to put a little line at the 2, a little line at the 4, 8. Connect them. Okay. Now, I need whiskers. Now, listen. It only goes down to 1 because your data, like you've got to look at your data. It goes up to 9. Okay, so you've just made the box and whisker. Now, kind of going back to the questions they ask. Trying to show it to you at the same time. Okay, so it asks on the homework, what is the median? So looking at it, the median is what?
4.
4. And I've got that because of the middle line. What percent is less than 2? 25%, because that whisker is 25%. Finish this for homework. Number 3, you do not make a box and whisker, but you look at the 2 companies and you compare them. That's all you do. You may go while I show the rest of the homework. That was number 1. I'm sorry, that was number 1.
Bye, Miss Romney.
Goodbye, guys. Here is number 2.
Have a good day.
You too. And number 3. This is where you're going to compare the two companies.
My big son is so close.
Okay, so I'm not sure where I stopped on the video, and if I rewind it, we'll be all lost and stuff. I know we did number 1 in the video, so what I'm going to do is go to number 2. They've already had a few minutes. We've been kind of writing down the numbers out of number 2 there. And you can see, even on notebook paper, I kind of ran out of space there. Okay, did we all get the median is 16? And it's kind of that middle 16. Okay, going in to find the LQ now. Okay. And the LQ would be 14. I don't know why I put it up there, but that's okay. Ooh, this is when I get confused. Okay. And the UQ is actually between my 18 and 19. And if I add 18 plus 19 equals, and then divide by 2, I'm going to get 18.5. Okay. So, then we know our highest and lowest data. Now, I've got to make a number line from 11 to 20 at least. I wish you'd do 10 to 21, but okay, 10. Yes, you have to number the number line. Don't skip numbers. There's no reason. Okay, now my 3 little dash lines would go at 14 for the LQ, 16 for the median, and where's 18.5? In the middle. 18.5 in the middle of the 18 and 19. That's going to create my box. And my 2 whiskers are going to shoot down to a 20, because 20 is my highest number, and down to an 11, because that is my lowest number. Okay, now, looking at the questions. Question A says, what percent is between 14 and 18.5? So between here and there is how much percent? 50%, because this is 25% and this is 25%. So on number 2A, it is 50%. Okay, and on B, what is the range of this data? What is the range? What's my biggest number? What's my biggest number? 20 minus 11, which is 9. 9 is my range. Guys, I'm not done yet. I don't know why anyone's packing up. We've not done the last one, and you still have some time. Please get it back out if I'm staring at you and you know why I'm staring at you. You may, yes. Okay. Number 3. This is where we're really getting into the 6th grade stuff, which is what I would call interpreting when there's more than one box and whisker. This is a double box and whisker plot. It's showing the distribution of video games sold per week by 2 companies. Now, look at this data. This truly tells you about each company. Company A is all of this stuff. Company B is down here. Who's got better sales?
Obviously, company B.
Who's got higher numbers, guys? A. Okay. Now, looking at letter A, compare the range of each company's sales. Range. So company A, what is the range of company A? 31 minus what?
23.
23. There's the end whisker right there, 23, which equals what? 8. Okay. Company B is 26 minus 15, which is 11. So, when they say compare, they want a sentence. Some kind of sentence. The range of company A is smaller than. Oops, company A is smaller than company B. I should have put, somewhere before this, but with a range of 8. Give me a number. There's going to be a lot of, not like a lot, but you're going to be writing sentences on this test Friday. Because that's what they want you to do, is interpret the data. Now, you might put that company B is higher than company A. Doesn't matter as long as you've written a sentence with a number in it. I need numbers give me the proof of why one's lower or higher. Don't just say one's lower, give me numbers. Okay, compare the median of each company's sales. So what's the median of company A? 28. And this one is 20. So if I'm on letter B, I'll put it down here. The median of company A is higher. I'll put at 28 than company B. So, which one is more predictable? Which one is less spread out? A. A is more predictable. You may go. You should be done with your homework if you're in 4th period. You're welcome. Read. A is less spread out. So it is. I put company A is more predictable because the data is less spread out. When it is squished up like that, it's kind of better than having it all over the place like that one. Thank you. Got a lot of kids out today, so I figured